Welcome back. The KZ1 gearbox class is up next, and the youngest senior driver in the championship is Hannah Lang, and I caught up with her earlier on. You're just 15 years of age, I think, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
What persuaded you to come from junior Rotax, which is the class you were in, which has got a centrifugal clutch, to this monster here that's got gears and very difficult and complex kart to drive? It takes some handling as well. What persuaded you to do that in the first place?
Well, ever since I've been little, I've always wanted to do KZ, and my dad raced KZ, so I wanted to follow in his steps. So.
And how have you found it this year? When did you first sit in the kart?
First sat in the kart in January, and I found it really physical and hard, so I put lots of effort into training and stuff. So now when I go out, I find it less physical and easier to drive it. The more you go out and the more you practice, the easier it starts to begin to get.
So you'd really recommend it for other girls in karting then?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the best classes to be in.
KZ1 British champion. You were the world champion in juniors a few years ago, but obviously the Super 1 title is much more important than the world championships, clearly. So congratulations. And nice to hear that you're staying in karting next year. You're not moving over to the dark side and going and racing cars.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Yeah, I love the sport. I love the class. I even try and defend my title. If I can't, then I can't. If I can, I can. It's just, I enjoy doing it, and it puts a smile on my face every time I race one. So I don't see the point in changing if I'm happy. So.
And you won a prize, I think, at the Henry Surtees Foundation event down at Buckmore Park. That was driving a single seater, and you've just given that away.
Yeah, well, I thought about it, and I thought, well, I haven't achieved everything I want to achieve in karting, and Super 1 was one of the things after last year. So I decided, I made a mature decision, or an idiot decision, some might say, and I stayed. And obviously this year it's paid off because I've got a title that I've actually wanted to get since I've started. So in my opinion, I think I did the right thing. So I'm happy about that choice.
So what choices will he make in the KZ1 televised final here at Little Rissington? We're about to find out. Sam Webster and Scott Allen on the front row, with Dennis Gorman and Jamie Garvey on row 2. Henry Easthope, John Pike, Dan Kelly, Johnny Buchanan, Ryan Sharp and Will Van Ness rounding out the top 10, with Richard Crozier and Hannah Lang, who we spoke to just a little while ago. Pole position for Sam Webster, but his chains come
off on the formation lap.
Oh dear, well, that's it.
He's run off to try and sort it out, but he's not on the grid at the start, so Sam Webster out.
That is a very, very cruel raid.
It's got to be a full start by Garvey, surely, Jake. He's come round. Scott Allen. Allen had
and a spin. That's Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly spins around in turn 1. Well, Garvey has taken the lead, but yeah, I think you may have a point there, Alan. That was a little bit marginal, wasn't it?
I think so. I think that was a full start myself, but we can't see the lights, of course, from where we are. We're at the other side, so anyway, it's Garvey that leads it, the Royal Marine.
And of course the KZ1s miss out the dogleg completely because of their superior speed compared to the other karts that are running this weekend. So they go straight down the straight rather than tail off into the dogleg. And this is the fastest form of Super 1 racing in the United Kingdom. Great battling there as we watched Hannah Lang trying to make her way through the pack, and Garvey just about hanging on to things at the front with Dennis Gorman right on his tail.
Can you believe the age of Hannah Lang racing these karts, 15? I mean, I think you said it earlier, Jake, she looks 25.
Well, not just in appearance, but that is sheer bravery as a 15-year-old racing these karts. That is just incredible, and well, that shows you no fear for Hannah Lang at all.
Yeah, she's 15 years of age. It's the year of your 16th birthday you can move up to seniors. So she's certainly one of the youngest drivers we've ever seen. There have been 15-year-olds in KZ1 or the old Gearbox 125 class before.
Oh, that's Allen making the move for the lead. Scott Allen takes the lead off Garvey, and with the chase... Oh, it looks like he's got a problem. He's got a problem.
Out. He's got a technical, he's got a mechanical problem.
Oh, what a shame for Garvey. That's his race done, and that is a huge, huge shame. His race is over, and that now means it's going to be a three-way fight between Scott Allen, Dennis Gorman and Henry Easthope at the front.
Henry Easthope, the world champion, as we heard in the earlier interview we did just a few seasons ago. Won that world championship, by the way. He came into the final corner. There were 2 karts in front of him. He needed to be in front of them to win the championship. I can't remember whether it was by a point or on countback. He went into the corner in 3rd place of the 3. The 2 in front tangled. He went through the final turn, took the spot and took the world title, literally in that last corner.
So he knows how to wait till the bitter end to go for the win. And sitting in 3rd position, he might be on a bit of a rerun here if he's not careful. The rest of the field needs to respond to the battle that we've got going on. This is Ryan Sharp having a good dice with Richard Crozier, all the way from Aberdeen. Ryan Sharp, probably one of the most travelled drivers in the championship.
Through the top bend, Dennis Gorman in 2nd place there. Probably the best we've seen of him this year, Jake. Scott Allen out front, of course, took both finals. I think it was at round 1, but he's lost his way in the middle of the championship and coming strong at the end, but it's all too late. Henry Easthope's already won the championship. That was the information from Dennis Gorman. And John Pike there, Jake, somebody you know.
Yes, indeed, the man from Ruthin in North Wales, the same domicile as former Formula 1 driver Tom Price, who tragically was killed in the 77 South African Grand Prix. But John Pike, he did some racing with the Lotus Kart project, which is still going at the moment, but it's taken a bit of a back seat. But he was the first driver to race that kart in Britain. So there is a genuine chance that John may well be called up on more Lotus kart racing duty. That's not a bad name to have in your CV, is it?
It certainly isn't. Nice to see you're pronouncing Ruthin like a true southerner and not, as it should be, Ruthin in North Wales.
I apologise. I'm going to have to do my Borodars and my Croeso Gymrys properly, aren't I?
Yeah, what a great shots these are, Jake, aren't they? Real nice overhead shot from the helicam, just showing the real fluid dynamic of this race.
You can get a good appreciation, of course, as to exactly what this circuit entails. It's really tight, very technical, and you can see later on into the race, it's been very good indeed for Scott Allen. He's been able to get away from Dennis Gorman and Henry Easthope a little bit here. Easthope trying to go the long way round the outside. He might tuck in for the undercut, although Gorman's out!
Gorman's out!
Gorman's out! This is the most unlucky driver in Super 1, it seems. Everything seems to go wrong for this chap. What a shame for Dennis Gorman. Again, he is out.
Mechanical failure, and that's put John Pike into his best position of the season. Looks like John could be picking up a podium at least. He's looking pretty nippy here.
Well, he could close up on the world champion, of course. He's still looking very good indeed, is John. Pushing hard indeed into the elbow once again. And Henry Easthope, he's got a bit of a gap, but, well, it can all change. And look who's in 4th place. It's the 44, Will Van Ness.
Yeah, he's come from the back of the grid, hasn't he?
And he has, and he's really adapted to KZ.
Oh, water!
Well.
That was water coming out. That the race leader, he's losing radiator water. Here's a slow motion replay. Just saw it as he went round. Let's have a look. Comes into the left hand and it just sprays out to the back end of the car.
Yes, indeed.
There it is. Water clearly on the track. Now that's a hazard to other drivers. That should be an instant mechanical flag, but there's not long to go. Will they allow him to stay out?
That is going to be very dramatic if they do keep him out, but, well...
Well, they can't flag him... Well, I suppose they... Well, no, they can't flag him now because he's gone across the start-finish line, so even if you've got a flag...
He's still leaking water as he came through, so this is a bit of a dramatic scenario. He sets the fastest lap as well. Well...
He's going to get away with it. He's going to be pretty lucky there, because if this was in the middle of the race, he's definitely getting a flag if they see that water squirting out the side of the kart, because it's going to make the track very slippery for the other drivers. But it is Scott Allen that gets the checkered flag, takes the win. Henry 2nd and John Pike, his best result in the class, for 3rd place.
Will Van Ness getting 4th position as well. I think that makes Scott Allen the luckiest man in Little Rissington right now.
It was a bit of a chaotic start, and I managed to just sort of pick my way through the pack. Got into 4th behind Henry, Dennis and Scott, and just sort of tried to chase my way through. Didn't quite have the pace to stay with them and challenge for the win, but I have to work on that, I guess.
I feel a bit gifted, but we had the pace in the race, so I'm happy with the pace we had because we've had an extremely difficult weekend. A big thank you to my mum, Tim Taylor, Andy Fairless Racing, so Andy and Sue. They've been brilliant all through this year. They've also helped me to win the championship, so I can't thank him enough, as well as everyone at home and anyone who supported me. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone. So it's been a awesome year for me, and hopefully I can do the same again next year.
We'd made a few changes to the engine and it was a lot better then, and we just managed to power past Dennis down the back straight and then pop it by Jamie a couple of laps later. And then, yeah, I just got my head down and pushed as hard as I could all the way, and at the end we ended up with a massive gap. I think, you know, Dennis had a problem, his fuel pump fell off or something, and we just managed to cruise it to a victory.
Great end to the season for Scott, the way he started the season, but fell away in the middle. It was Henry Easthope that's taken the championship. No more rounds for KZ1. They don't race at PF International. I can tell you that coming up at PF International in a month or so time, we've got the new X30 classes for junior and senior as guest classes, and we will be televising those races, so don't miss that. Coming next, the final race of the day for KGP.